Hi, or we say here in Bavaria, Servus. My name is Manuel and I'm from here, Munich, Germany. Today I'm going to give you an inside look into the Bavarian beer garden culture. So come with me.
With an estimate of 200 beer gardens, Munich is the heart for German beer garden culture. But what should you know before you visit? Today I'm meeting up with my friends in one of my favorite beer gardens and will show you how a typical beer garden day looks like.
Alright, we're here now at Nockerberg at the Paulaner Beer Garden, which is one of the most famous beer gardens here in Munich. It's famous for its annual beer festival, the Starkbierfest. Let's get inside, I'm hungry. But what actually is a beer garden and where does it come from? 200 years ago, the breweries, they had an issue because they could only brew the beer in the winter time, but not in the summer. It was way too hot. So they started in cellars, right below us. They put chestnut trees on top and the gravel on the ground to cool the beer in the cellars. Then at some point in the summer, they realized they want to sell beer to their own customers. So what they did is they put benches below the chestnut trees and they offered their beer. And that's how the beer gardens arrived 200 years ago.
We meet Dave, who explains us the difference between an outdoor restaurant and a beer garden.
Biergarten ist Selbstbedienung, aber das hat einen historischen Hintergrund, dass man halt da auch seine Speisen mitbringen kann.
I brought my own food today, which is surprisingly quite normal in a beer garden. And it's called Brotzeitrecht. So I have a right to bring my own food to a beer garden.
This goes back to a rule from 1812 by King Max Joseph I. There was a big dispute in Munich. Restaurant owners complained that beer garden owners were stealing their customers by selling cheap food alongside their beer.
So what King Max Joseph did is he set a rule and restricted the beer gardens from serving food.
But guests were still allowed to bring their own food, a tradition that remains today.
So we have quite typical dishes here. We have the Brezen, we have a Wurst salad, a sausage salad with pickles. We have an Oberster, which is the Bavarian cheese, tomatoes and some local fruits.
Of course you can add more to your Brotzeit. Radieschen, a variety of sausages and even more pickles. If you want not just a Brotzeit but a proper meal, you get this as well in the beer garden. From Händel to Schnitzel to Steckerfisch. It's impossible to leave a beer garden hungry.
But you know what is missing here? The beer. So let's get it. So what is quite typical in a beer garden, you don't get it just in half a liter. Because in a beer garden usually, and especially this one, after 5 p.m, they only serve a Mass, which is a 1 liter beer. So let's get one. And yeah, I think two Mass. Thank you. Dankeschön. Okay, so as you can see, after 5 p.m, only 1 liter is allowed.
This group of friends brought even more food than I did. I wanted to understand what means beer garden culture to them.
Nein, es ist schon wie ein Picknick. Ne? In Frankreich machst du halt Picknick am Strand oder auch die Australier. Und eigentlich ist es so ein Picknick halt im Wirtsgarten.
Getränke kauft man hier fairerweise, aber dadurch, dass man das Essen selber mitbringen darf, soll es auch erschwinglich für jedermann sein.
Sozial.
Also hier trifft sich alles.
Stimmt.
Vom Arbeiter, Schüler, Studenten bis zum Chefarzt.
Das habe ich auch das Gefühl, das ist so eine Biergartensitte, gell? Dass man einfach, man sitzt halt am Nachbartisch mit irgendwie anderen Leuten, dann kommt man ins Gespräch und dann stößt man an und ja. Cheers. Cheers. I hope you learned something about the beer garden today. Thank you for joining and see you the next time. Servus!